everybody, and welcome back to Vlog Talk. How are you guys doing? Everybody taking care of themselves, looking out for your mental health, having relaxing days, trying to look after each other? I hope so. I hope you're doing okay. Today we're just going to be standing, I suppose, and answering some comments. It's been a little bit since we've done one of these, and I kind of just felt like chit-chatting and having a good time with you guys, so that's what I'm gonna do today. I didn't put out a post or anything for this. I just kind of scrolled through the comments, and if I found repeat questions or ones that I just really felt like answering, I just selected those and put them into the video today. So the first one by Luna, this is a pretty useless comment, but the vibrant orange was probably done with curcuma because that stuff will color everything if you cut it up without gloves. Prepare to have orange fingers for a while. So this was in reference to the Halloween toy unboxing video. I had asked how on earth they get the orange to be so vibrant, and curcuma is apparently like turmeric, and that makes perfect sense. I had to go look it up and figure out what this was. But yeah, apparently it's just turmeric, and that's how they get the super, super vibrant, bright, natural orange to appear on the bird toys, which is really, really cool. That was not a useless comment at all. I really actually appreciated you sharing that little tidbit of knowledge. I had no idea. From Amira, I love how since we are both Canadian, I don't have to worry about if it ships here. Honestly, same. I find that so many YouTubers and just online presences are American or elsewhere. That there just aren't that many Canadian people in general that have big public faces. So being able to kind of go, hey, I'm not American, you can get this stuff outside of the US is really enjoyable, and I've had a lot of difficulty trying to find alternatives to products and things like that that are in Canada. So I'm glad that I'm able to do that for you, and I'm appreciative of you sharing that with me. What cage is yours, brand-wise? So the cage that I have mounted up on the wall is actually supposed to be a double-decker cage. I just separated it and bought some brackets so we could wall mount the cage appropriately. I'm uncertain of the brand, but I bought it from the West Coast Tropical Bird Studio over in Vancouver. I am not sure if they do shipping and things like that, but if you're looking for similar styled cages, you can usually find them by searching things like double-decker bird cage or finch flight cages. If you search specifically for finch flight cages, you will get that smaller bar spacing but get significantly more space, and honestly I find that they're usually a lot cheaper than if you look for a parrot cage that just happens to have smaller bar spacing. It's a lot more difficult to find, but that's what I would look for. From Dan, new hair, it looks awesome. How long did it take for the birds to get used to it? So this is not the first time I've colored my hair. Mia was around the first time I colored it, and I had done it bright, bright blue. Initially when I had done that, Mia was quite scared, and it took about a week or so for her to get actually truly comfortable and adjusted to it. She did, you know, understand that it was just me fairly quickly, but getting that full comfort back took about a week for her. Newt, we brought into our home when I had blue hair already. So Newt has also already been through the change from a vibrant color to a natural color. So he wasn't too difficult either. Newt did give me quite a bit of sass when I initially dyed my hair. When I first opened the bird room, it was kind of like him fluffing up, giving me a little bit of an aggressive display, just wondering like, who the heck is this in the room? What is this random bright thing entering my space? But once he kind of realized it was me, he settled down pretty quickly. So yeah, neither of them really took all too long. I'm sure for other birds or birds who have never had that sort of change in their lives, it would take quite a while longer. But once they realized it was still me, they've both been pretty well fine with it. Newt has enjoyed trying to play with it. He'll kind of grab it with his foot and fiddle around with it. When it was bright, bright red still, he had a lot of fun trying to play with it, thinking it was a toy. And yeah, I don't know, it's been really enjoyable. It's starting to get really quite faded now, so I'll have to try and figure out what color I'm doing next. If you guys have suggestions on what color you want me to do, leave a comment and maybe I'll do that color. From Cody, hi, cool videos there, very informative. I'm curious about a product I saw, a heated perch for AC and cold weather. Apparently it's a low temp kind of thing. Would you recommend it? I know I wouldn't trust just any company, but yeah, if you would, where would you get it? Trying to keep the winter in mind. So heated perches are along the same vein as heat rocks. The issue with heat rocks for reptiles is that one, reptiles are very bad at deciphering how hot something is on their belly, so they can overheat or burn themselves quite easily, and the heat rocks did not have a built-in thermostat. And most of the perches you see online that are sold as heat perches don't have a thermostat or any sort of heat regulation either. So they're supposed to stay within a regular heat range, but they're probably not going to, and you have no way of telling unless you sit there and check on it every 5 minutes with a heat gun what temperature that perch is actually going to reach. Additionally, with these perches, they tend to be quite large and quite slippery. They're just a hard plastic coating. So when it comes to thinking about keeping them safe and comfortable, if your bird lands on it and it's slippery, or your bird has issues perching already, they're probably going to fall off of it numerous times. I like the idea of the perches. I like the principle behind it, but realistically, it's not super necessary. If you have a bird with really bad arthritis, you may find that having one that's got a lot of texture that's easy to grip, that heat may benefit their joints. But for the average bird, keeping them warm in the winter, as long as your house is a comfortable temperature and they're not right by a freezing cold window, you really shouldn't need anything like this. If you really wanted to, putting a blanket over 3/4 of the cage to kind of contain that warmth might be a good alternative as well. I don't know, I like the idea of heat perches in theory. I just don't think they've been applied in reality well enough yet. I don't think there's enough regulation. I don't think they're being produced well enough to really trust it alone with my birds anyways. From Barbara, there were many others as well, but this is the one I found first. On the shower perch, just turn it upside down. So yes, I did realize that afterwards, about an hour after I'd finished recording that video, I was messing around with it and trying to figure out what to do, and I realized I could just take the shower perch that I had purchased and flip it upside down. And that's probably how it's intended to be used. There are images of it being used that way. I don't know why I've only ever used the perches upside down. I'm not sure why, but yes, I have been using the perch flipped the other way now, and that's no longer a problem. Thank you to those of you who were nicely letting me know that I was having a bit of a moment there and couldn't figure out such a simple solution to my problem. Thank you. Problem with my little conure is that he flies around / runs around with his beak full. I watched your mooch video and tried to value load the area, but he still flies around with his beak full. Any tips? This was very helpful. I'll try to apply the release or hop off cue. So this kind of depends on what's going on. If your bird is grabbing the treat and then running away, you might want to address why they're running away. You know, are they scared? Are they unfamiliar with the area? Things like that. I'd see if there's an area where you can feed him that he already naturally stays. Like if he consistently runs away to his cage or consistently runs away to a particular perch, you could try working in that area first to get the release cue in place, so the bird's already somewhere that they naturally are wanting to stay and not wanting to run away from. Otherwise, I'd look into things like your treat size and what treat you're using, as well as how quickly you're giving them to him. If you're giving him a really big piece that he has to run away and chew on, you're going to have that issue where they're going to run away and chew. Whereas if you can take something like a sunflower seed and break it up into tiny pieces so they literally put it in their mouth and basically swallow it, they don't have to chew it, you may resolve that issue because then you can give them lots of itty bitty treats before they have the opportunity to even run away with them. Yeah, otherwise I'd try and analyze why your bird is trying to run away. You know, is it fear? Is there something else going on? Is it the way that the treats are being presented? Is it the type of treat? Change up a couple things, and then I'd work on to getting that release cue in a already established comfortable place, and then try to apply it to other perches that he may be running away or moving off of too quickly. What effect does your clicker training with Mia have on your other bird? He kind of looked like he was expecting a treat, but Mia was getting them all. This was on the clicker recognition video where I was basically sitting there clicking and clicking and clicking, and you can see Newt in the background kind of expecting a treat. So this is actually a pretty common question, is if you're clicker training or doing any sort of training with one bird, does the other bird also engage in the training? Do they think that the click is happening to them? And the answer is kind of variable. It depends on the birds. If you've been training with your animals for a while, they will understand context cues. If you are clicking and making eye contact with one bird, the other bird will understand that you are not talking specifically to them. You may capture their attention when they hear the click because they have associated it with food in the past, and they might turn and see and then realize, oh, you're not training me right now. That wasn't for me. I'll go on and do my own thing. Some birds are extremely adamant about these, and you may do some additional training where, hey, if I'm with this bird, in this context with the clicker, you are to be sitting on your perch, minding your own business, not invading our training session, and you will get rewards afterwards. Those are all things you can incorporate. Generally speaking, birds are incredibly smart, and they will figure out that you are not working with them at this point in time. You can see in that video Newt kind of begging, and that's because when I'm recording and there's a camera out, I'm often giving them treats as I'm talking, or I'm giving them treats for staying out of the training session and staying on their perch. So Newt is sitting there begging and bobbing because he has been getting treats for staying in his own area and minding his own business for a little while. So he's kind of just sitting there begging in general because I am training another bird, which means he will be getting treats for staying out of it. But it does depend on a bird-to-bird basis whether or not you need to do some training to teach them not to engage with the clicker when you're not using it with them, and things like that. So there were a ton of comments about my hair, and then there was one in particular I wanted to address that was wondering when you were actually going to see my hair in videos, and that's something I just wanted to quickly touch on, is I record all of my videos a month in advance. Like this one right now, I am recording as of November 4th. Even though this video isn't coming out until December, because I do have a full-time job and I have all the animals to take care of, I often try my best to make sure to prepare things ahead of time. And that way with things like training tutorials, if the session's not going as quickly as I thought they would, I'll still have plenty of time to be able to make sure that they are ready to go. Whenever it comes with recording sessions with my animals, I don't ever want to feel like I'm rushed or pressured to do it, because that's when people end up doing things that are going to end up harming their animals, and I'd rather just have a recording session and go, oh, that video didn't turn out as well as I'd like it to. That's okay. I still have a whole month before this video actually needs to come out. For that reason, though, that does mean there may be some weird inconsistencies with my social media. So you may have seen on Instagram that my hair was dyed way back at the beginning of October, but yet it wasn't showing up in videos until the very, very end. And there's actually going to be a weird blip sometime in the middle of November's videos where my hair goes from orange back to brown and then back to orange again. And that was 100% bad planning on my part, because I just record based off of what I feel like recording that day. I plan out like what days videos are going to come out so that way they're varied. So you're not getting 6 videos of me just talking and then 3 videos that are more engaging and then all the recipes at once. I try and plan it so they're spaced out. But if I wake up and I don't feel like recording a certain video that day, or maybe the birds aren't feeling up for a full training session or something, I'll just record what is going to be fun for me that day. And for that reason, I had recorded videos that were fun and engaging that I really wanted to record when my hair was still brown, that weren't supposed to be coming out till like the middle of November. And then I recorded the videos for the beginning of November after I had dyed my hair. So for that reason, timelines and things end up looking really messed up. And that's why if you're looking on Tumblr or on Instagram, you will get a more accurate timeline of how things are going and what we're working on and when we're working on it. The YouTube is definitely something that's more aimed to just be enjoyable and extra, because we do work full-time and because I do prioritize my animals over everything else. I do not like to have super short time frames. I like to make sure there's plenty of time before a video needs to come out, so I'm not rushed, so I'm not feeling pressured, and so that stress doesn't impact my animals at all. I apologize if that is inconvenient or difficult to understand or just awkward or uncomfortable in any way. It's just the way I'm preferring to do things right now. I've been thinking about making the time frame a little shorter, but honestly, I don't think I will. Any video that you see has been recorded a month prior, and that's just kind of the way I do things because it makes it a lot easier and calm and less pressure for me to get things done. I just wanted to clarify that because it can be really confusing if you follow all my different levels of social media, seeing kind of different layouts of things, and like YouTube, my hair is still brown, but on Instagram, my hair is red, and it's not matching up or making sense. So I just wanted to quickly touch upon that. I think I've touched on it before, but it's been a little while. So I just wanted to emphasize that that's kind of how things are run on this channel. so you had a bit of a better idea as to why they aren't all exactly the same. But that aside, I think that's going to be it for today. I don't have a whole lot else I think I really wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to kind of relax and answer a couple of your comments and chat with you guys. I do hope all of you are doing okay. I hope you are looking out for yourselves and taking great care of your pets. I hope everyone is happy and healthy, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day today. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you all next time. Bye. It's you.